I promise. Yes, I want to love my husband better. So yes, I'm going to read it. I do remember what it's called. Keep your love on. 5 biblical truths for bringing love back to your marriage. Happy? Bye.
Keep your love on. 5 biblical truths to bring love back in your marriage. Why did he send me this? Okay, number 1. Follow the guidelines of 1 Corinthians. Love is patient, oh. Yeah, I know this. This is that whole that wedding thing. Yeah, they say that. Love is patient, love is kind. Let's see, what's an example of love is patient? Listen to one another. Share with one another. Allow each other to tell their whole story. Listen intently. Show interest. Ask questions. Boy, they obviously haven't heard my wife tell a story, have they?
Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. Do something kind for your spouse today. Cook his favorite meal. Bring her coffee in bed. Rub his back. Rub her feet. Show your spouse kindness in action. I mean, I could make his favorite meal. What is his favorite meal? I mean, meal is his favorite meal.
It does not dishonor. It is not self-seeking. Well, who's self-seeking? Let's see, when they say they're self-seeking. Watch the war movie or the action movie, exactly, or the romantic comedy. Eat Chinese food even though you're not in the mood. She ain't doing that. Husbands, sometimes you're just gonna have to cuddle. What? Who writes this stuff?
It is not easily angered. It's not a keeper of wrongs. Obviously, the writers of this never met my husband.
Love does not delight in the evil, but rejoices with the truth.
It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres.
Love is hard. I mean, really hard.
We persevere. We got this. 18 years of marriage. That's perseverance, people.
Oh, man, traffic was horrendous. It's like it took me 30 minutes longer to get home. What about you?
No, I actually got home early, so I missed all of that. It was great. Before you get comfortable, where's the dry cleaning? I want to put it away.
The what?
Dry cleaning.
Oh, with the whole traffic thing, you know what? You don't need it till Friday. I'll get it tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll get it. I'll pick it up on the way to work. Done. You'll have it.
Not a keeper of wrongs. Not a keeper.
What's that?
I thought I left the oven on. I didn't. We're good.
Oh. Okay. Hey. So why don't you tell me about your day, the conference? How'd that go?
Oh, the conference was great, but you're never going to believe what I bought today.
What? You bought something?
Yes.
She bought something. Okay, well, what'd you buy?
Okay, so you know how that conference is like right across the street from that awesome like outdoor mall cafe situation that we love?
Yeah, with the real expensive stores.
Yes, that place. Okay, so I went there with Jane and Sue.
Yeah?
You know Sue, right?
Yeah, I know so.
Oh my gosh, Sue and her husband, remember like 2 years ago they started that little business with the eyeglass thing? You clip on your shirt and you put the eyeglasses in it?
No.
Oh my gosh, well now they're in every 7-Eleven, they're in every Sheetz, and they just signed this huge deal to be in like every Rudders. Isn't that awesome?
That's great.
How come we never do anything like that?
What?
Like Sue and we had that idea you did for that collapsible laundry basket. How come we never did anything like that?
Honey, let's just stay with the story. What did you buy?
Oh, right, okay. So, there's this new cafe there. I don't think you've been there yet. I don't think it was there the last time we were there, but
Okay.
it's like this whole like farm to table, like fresh goodness. I mean, everything's
Right.
like free range, antibiotic free, wild caught, like, oh, amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing. I
Wow.
had this salad.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Salad.
Fresh greens.
Right.
Fluffy goodness. Okay. Roasted red peppers.
Right.
Pine nuts, Kalamata olives. However,
Yeah.
huge. I mean, this piece of salmon would have filled you up. Wild caught.
Wow.
Seasoned to perfection.
Salmon. Wow.
But there's
You'd
a
like
kicker.
that.
There's a kicker to the salad.
What?
Unbelievable. You're not going to believe what they put on top of the salmon.
You got to tell me.
Okay.
Poached egg.
Ha!
Isn't that weird?
Right
it was
on
so
top.
good. Right on top. It
Wow.
was so good. It was like so good.
You know, why don't you just tell me what you bought?
Oh, right. Okay. So you know how there's that like one little store like around the edge with like all the college stuff, like so you like you
Yeah.
go around to the edge and there's like you walk in, there's like all that JMU stuff that we love so much.
Yes.
Why so close? What's going? Why?
I'm just listening to your story, staying right in line, just trying to hear you out.
Okay, but this is weird. Like, can't you listen over there?
Well, no, but I'm listening here. I'm just, listening in, trying to love you.
back up.
I mean, not trying to love you. I love you.
You're
I
trying.
wasn't. No, what I was trying was just trying to listen to your story and just hear, letting you get to the end of it. Just, because love is patient. I mean, patient is what I'm trying to. But no, I'm not. I'm trying to love you. I love you, and I really would just like to know what you bought.
You're an idiot.
Love is not a seeker of wrongs. You should try to remember that.
It's not even seeker of wrongs, it's keeper of wrongs, and you have a way of racking them up.
I knew you were upset over the dry cleaners.
It's been 4 days.
I said I would get it tomorrow.
Yesterday.
All right, you know what? I didn't. This is silly because I was really just trying to. Somebody sent me this email article about love and the Corinthians thing, and that's all.
What was it called? Keep Your Love On, 5 Biblical Truths for Bringing Love Back to Your Marriage?
Yeah.
I read it too.
Oh, see, okay. See, I was just trying to do, love you there, and listen, and I just wanted to know, just so what you buy.
You know what I'm gonna do?
What's that?
I'm gonna go in that kitchen. I'm gonna make us the best meal ever, and me and you, we're just gonna eat it together.
Okay, yeah, all right. And then what I'll do is I'll get a fire going. We can watch it in front of the TV, and you can tell me what you bought, and we'll watch that show that you like, Downtown Abbey.
Okay, it's Downton Abbey, and you're gonna watch Downton Abbey with me.
Yeah, I'll watch that.
It's a 2-hour special.
What? That's okay, because I know that you love that show, and it makes you happy. Yeah, or what I could do is, after dinner, I could give you like a kind of a foot massage, and then
Yes.
Now?
Yes.
All right, I can do that now. There we go.
Oh my gosh, that feels so good.
That feels good?
That feels great. Thank you.
There we go. Hey, say, what do you say you and me kind of skip dinner and we head upstairs?
That quick, from a foot rub to we're upstairs?
Love is hopeful.
Oh my gosh!
Come on! We can cuddle!
Isn't it pretty amazing how, when we're kids, we figure out love pretty easily? Especially that last slide right there was pretty awesome. But then as adults, we seem to do nothing but screw it up, right? Somewhere in the process, we lost it somewhere. I don't know where it is, but we lost it. Well, hey, thanks for coming this morning. Welcome. Thanks for coming to Crossroads. We know you can choose to go a lot of places, but we thank you that you come here, and we feel that, and we thank you for that. My name is Joe Laughlin. I'm the director of the student ministries here, and I wanted to share a little bit today with you about love. And to do that, I think what we need to do first is kind of look back at last week. Last week we started the series with love, and we kicked it off with, I thought was really, I liked it a lot. I thought it was really neat. And what we did is Jim Cabral was up here, and he was playing the piano, and he started off with a melody of love songs. There's a bunch of different love songs. He threw them all in there. And then he was like, hey, let's all join together. And so we were all singing these great love songs, and it was awesome. So I thought, hey, this week we could do the same thing and start it that way. But Jim's not here, and so I'm just gonna do it a cappella. And but then I thought, thank you. But then I thought, I don't think that would evoke emotions of love within you, if you heard me sing. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't. So then I kind of X'd that one out. But last week, Reed then started us off, and we looked at 1 Corinthians 13, chapter 13, and we started looking at what is love. And so we read through it, and as we started reading through that, there was some history in there about the city of Corinth. And it was a city that was really kind of almost absent, if you will, of God in all ways. It was all about as much as you could get, as fast as you could get, and with really no thought of what that did to anybody else. And in the midst of all that, a church popped up. And this church popped up, and they started understanding a little bit about God. And they started trying to worship God. But they were doing it in a way that wasn't quite worshipful to him. And so Paul came in, and he corrected them slightly and guided them nicely. And he said, look, guys, you're doing some awesome things. You're doing some stuff that is really nice. You're trying to help, and you're doing some things, but you're missing something. And he said, you could do all the great in the world, but if you don't have love, you've got nothing. Nothing. You could help out every person that's out there. You could give away everything you have. You could be incredibly gifted, but if love isn't at the center of it, if you don't have love, you have absolutely nothing. And Reed drove home that point with this video of Willy Wonka. And that was like one of those slow bombs going off. But like it was this video of Willy Wonka, and he was saying this great point. And so I thought, that one was a little bit old. So I found one that was updated a little bit, and it kind of drove it home here again. So we're going to take a look at this video right now. So, I'm the youth guy. We updated it a little bit there. But it makes it really clear, you get nothing. Like, if there's no love, you get nothing. And Paul then tells it and makes it even more clear. And so if you have your Bible, please open up to, turn it on, or just look up top here, to 1 Corinthians chapter 13, 1 through 3. We've heard this a couple times in different ways already this morning. And but we're going to take a minute here and look at the word. It says, if I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and surrender my body to the flames, but have not love, I gain nothing. That's really clear right there. Without love, we got nothing. So it seems to be this incredibly important thing, right? It seems to be that this is something that, for me, that evokes this thought of, okay, well, what is it? I want that then. Because I don't want my life to be meaningless. So what is it? Well, the dictionary defines it this way. It's a strong feeling of affection. Thanks a lot. Really helps me out there. If we had the gong, we would hit it right there because we were way off with that gong. That is wrong. Paul defines it, I think, a little better in the Scripture. And so stay in that passage, 1 Corinthians 13. We're going to look at 4 through 7 here. It says, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It is not rude, it is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. So to figure out a little bit more about what love is, we're going to look at it in 3 ways today. So we're going to look at what love isn't first, what love is not first. Then we're going to look at what love is, and then we're going to say, how do we get it? Before we do that, though, I would love to pray. So if you guys would pray with me. All right. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you that you have brought us here. Thank you that you are teaching us about your love. Lord, I ask that you would open our hearts and our ears and our minds to understand a little bit more about you, and that you would reveal yourself to us today. In your Son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, so I thought, how can I help us out here first to kind of get this what isn't thing? And so here's what I came up with. And I know some of you are going to be like, oh, geez. But go ahead and stand up. So everybody stand up again. There's the part where you're like, oh, geez. So I just got comfortable. All right. So I have always wanted to write on one of these little papers that you flip over when you write. And so this was the moment. I had a chance, so I figured out this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to write on here some of the things that Paul talked about in that chapter that we just read, okay? And when I write it and say it, so I'll write something here and I'll say it, if you have ever possibly not quite loved in that way, I want you to have a seat, okay? So we're going to start off with this one, all right? So love is patient. No idea if I spelled that right. Love is kind. How's that? Whoa. What happened? This whole side is down over here. Some of you guys are still over here. Good job. All right. Well done. And hey, guys, here's the thing. That was way too quick. That was 2. There's 15 in there. Everybody stand up again. We're going to try this one more time here. Okay. Let me flip this because this was the big thing I was always excited about right here. There it goes. All right. It does not envy. It does not boast. Ooh. It is not proud. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You guys didn't hear that, but right here I heard, can I tell my spouse to sit down? What is that? It is not easily angered. Got him. All right, well, wow. I think that proves the point there. But here's what I want to say is probably some good news for some of us to hear right at this point, is love is not a checklist. And if that was it, if love was a checklist, and we went down there, we said, okay, love is patient, love is kind, does not envy, does not boast, tick, 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 all right, not bad. There's 15 of them. I got 10. I got 10 good ones. 5 I'm struggling at. Then we would have all failed, which right off the bat we saw that we are kind of messing up in this love area sometimes. right? We're not getting it right every time. But that is good news then, that it's not a checklist. But here's the problem. It's actually much worse. On our own, we are completely incapable of love. Let me repeat that. On our own, we are completely incapable of love. Now, don't add anything in there. I think some of us have a tendency to add stuff when we say it, and you were going home, we're talking to our husband or wife, and they're like, I didn't hear that. Oh, I heard it. But, so here's the thing. Ladies, I didn't say, as men, we are completely incapable of love. And fellas, I wasn't pointing at the ladies and saying, ladies, you are completely incapable of love. But in fact, I said we are all incapable of love. And that might kind of mess you up a little bit for a second. And there's some of you guys, your faces are like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. I'm a parent. I am too. I've got 4 kids, and I love my kids. But Joe, you just said, on our own, we're incapable of love. That means I can't love my kid? Or I don't love my kid? Well, here's an example. Have you ever been in a situation where your child or some situation where they did better than you ever thought they would? Like you're sitting in a recital and they nailed it. Or you're at a stadium and you're watching them play and they scored the winning goal or however it was. And you thought to yourself, it's my kid. You got something back from your love. What about, has there ever been a moment where you're embarrassed about your kid and the choices they're making from stuff that they're doing? Have you ever tried to hide those ones in your circles where you didn't want those ones to get out? What about kids? Turn it the other way. Kids, have you ever been embarrassed by your parents? There's a story of a guy named Jeff Foxworthy, and you know him too. That's me. But there's a story that he every morning, he was telling this, every morning he wakes up and he drives his daughters to school. Some of us do that. Every morning I wake up and I drive my daughter to school. And he, not only that, but he lives next door to his brother who also has only daughters, and he takes them, and so they all go to the same school, and he drives them to school every day, right? And so this one day, he picks everybody up, and he's driving them to school, and he gets in the line, right? The line. Like, I don't know if any of you drive your kids to school in the morning, but there is this line, and you're like, how in the world is there this many people dropping people off? Whatever happened to buses? Like, and I'm one that drops my kid off every morning. And so I'm waiting in this line, Jeff was waiting in this line, and it's a long line, and he runs out of gas. So he's got this truckload of girls. He runs out of gas, and the horns start honking. Hey, move it. Come on, we're going to be late. Honk, honk. And his arms out the window, like, go around, go around. And the girls are like, Dad, come on, just let us out, and so finally they get out, they get into school, they go in, he gets out of there somehow, and he's determined. He said, I am not going to let that happen again. So the next morning he wakes up early, he goes, he fills up, picks up the girls, he heads to school, he's looking down on full, I'm doing awesome, and he's moving and inching through the line. He gets right up to the front door where the principals are there, all the kids are there, the principals are opening the door for all the kids that are coming in. He rolls down the window, and he leans over, and he goes, I got gas this morning! And the girls are like, Dad, just leave, just go. And he's like, I don't even know what I said. Like, I told him I got gas this morning. But, and we laugh, and that's kind of fun, and we have a good time with that one, but have you ever, as kids, remember growing up even, have we ever been embarrassed about the situation of our family? Have we ever thought, man, I can't believe like everybody else lives there and I got to go here, or my parents just don't dress right, or, and that's not love. You know what that actually is most of the time when we're loving, we're actually just trying to fill a need that we have within us. C.S. Lewis calls it this in his book, Mere Christianity. He says, we hunger. We don't love. You see, it's saying whenever we do something that we think is love, it's actually a hunger that we have to fill a void, to fill a need that we have inside of us. Let me explain that one. So my wife's birthday was last month. And I was thinking, okay, what would be kind of neat? Well, I've given my wife flowers a lot, but I've never actually had them delivered to her that I can remember, right? And so I thought, that's what I'll do. I'll call up. Hey, I'd like to order my wife some flowers. You got this really cool one right here. I'd love to have that one. And they said, well, where do you want it delivered? And I said, well, I thought, at home, like everything. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I could have them delivered to her at work, at school. And all the kids then, all day, would come in and go, oh, happy birthday, Miss Loughlin, happy birthday. And then all the other teachers would come in and go, oh, how nice, you have a great husband. And then I thought, oh, yeah, that would be awesome. So then the day comes, right? And she wakes up, and I'm like, hey, happy birthday, great, go to school. And so she gets off, and she's off to school. And I'm thinking, I come to work, and I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be awesome. Any moment, I should get a text that says, oh, honey, you're awesome. Thank you so much. That's so great. I love you. Emoji with a smiley kiss coming out the corner, kind of thing. And I thought, man, that's going to be great. No text comes. I'm like, okay, it's noon. Maybe the guy's running a little bit late or whatever. No text comes. So 2 o'clock, and I'm like, man, this is getting close. She gets out of work at 3, like school's over. Nothing. 3 o'clock comes and passes, nothing. Right? It's creating in me this feeling of a little bit of frustration. How in the world could she get that incredible bouquet of flowers and not say thank you to me? Like, what in the world? Like, I can't believe that. I'm feeling angry. So then we get home, right? And I race to get her home. I race to get home before her so that when she comes, she walks in the door, and I'm like, hey, how was your day? Good. Oh. Well, did anything special happen today at school? No. What? And I'm like, what? You didn't get like a big bouquet of flowers delivered to you or anything like that? No. The flowers never came. And I'm here inside. I'm fishing for this comment back, this thank you, this whatever, because I need to fill this hunger I have inside that I needed to feel loved. And yet it was her birthday. I was trying to do it for her. Well, the cool thing is God is pretty good at gently correcting us, isn't he? So the next day she goes to school, the flowers come. It's the wrong bouquet. Like, they didn't even send the right bouquet. It's like this little tiny bouquet of flowers, and it wasn't what I ordered, the big, huge, pretty bouquet of flowers. And then it signed this, happy birthday, from Sydney, Aiden, Cooper, and Brooks, our 4 kids. That's awesome. I tried to share the love with them. I was like, I'm not going to be selfish. I'm going to share the love. They're going to get credit for this too. And John. My name's Joe. God has a great way of humbling us, doesn't he? But if we are waiting or expecting a reaction from our love, then that's not love. So what is it? Well, love actually consists of 2 parts. Our outward expression and our inward self. Okay? So 1 Corinthians 4, it says this. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4. It says this. Love is patient, love is kind. Okay, so that's what starts us, what people should feel from us. So it's our outward expression. Love is patient. Love is kind. It goes on. It's not rude. It always protects. It always trusts. Always hopes. always perseveres. That's our outward expression. Inward, then, inside of us, it does not boast. It is not proud. It does not envy. It's not self-seeking. It's not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs, and it does not delight in evil, but rejoices in truth. You see, it's a complete love. It isn't anywhere a love that we have to receive something back to fill that void in us. It's a complete love. It's a perfect love. That's what 1 Corinthians is talking about. You know, and in fact, if we don't know love like this, we don't know love. If we don't know love like this, we don't know God. Whoa, how can you say that? I didn't. God did. If you look in 1 John 4:8, you can just look up on the screen. 1 John chapter 4, verse 8. It says, "Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love." But there is some great news here, because that's pretty daunting. The fact that we are attempting to love, the fact that we are attempting to, even in our own screwed up, messed up, self-seeking way of love, is an indication of something. And what that indication is that we were created by a loving God to love His way. We've got that going for us. We were created that way. It's like this. It's just like a baby duck. Has anybody ever seen a duckling sink? Nope, me neither. Never seen it. You guys are starting to think right now. You're like, how? I don't. But that one time with that rock. But it doesn't need, it's born, it grows a little bit, and then it goes right into the water. No swim classes, no life preserver, although that would be really cute. There's nothing that this little duckling needs to swim. It just goes right in. You know why? Because it was created, it was made by God to swim. It knows how to do it. You see, just like that, we were created with a desire to love and to be loved. That's why we keep trying all these weird things that we keep screwing up. Because we were created with that in us. The problem is we're trying to do it without getting in contact with the guy who created love. We're trying to do it on our own. We're trying to love others and love ourselves without receiving His love first. So how do we get it? We have to receive His love. 1 John 4:19 says this: "We love because He first loved us." You see, we have to receive His love Himself. We have to receive it first. Then we're able to love like this 1 Corinthians love. Without it, we can't. It was a group of high school girls. They were going whitewater rafting out at a camp called Frontier in Colorado. And the girl that was leading them all, the leader, was a little bit older than them. Her name was Debbie B. And they were going down the river, and it was her group of girls, her 6 girls and her, and they're going down the river in a raft. And they hit a kind of a troublesome spot of the river, and it flipped over their raft. And so all 7 of them are in the water. And what probably seemed like forever, but was really only a couple minutes, they all ended up, the 6 girls ended up on the side of the water. A couple other rafts pulled over. A couple other leaders got over, making sure everybody was okay. And a couple of the staff were there. And they said, "Hey, everybody all right? Everybody all right?" And they're like, yeah, we're okay. And the staff looked around and said, "Wait, where's Debbie?" And everybody's like, "Where's Debbie? Where's Debbie?" We're looking around, and so he said, "Has anybody seen Debbie?" And the first girl said, "Yeah, I saw her. She was right there with me. She pulled me actually up out of the water, and she swam me over to the shore, and then She went back in, and the second girl goes, yeah, she did the same thing for me. She tugged me, she pulled me, she pushed me, and she got me over to the shore. Number 3, 4, 5, and 6 girls all had the same story. See, Debbie had pushed them all and pulled them and dragged them and swam them all over to the shore. But the problem was nobody knew where Debbie was. They found Debbie's body about a half a mile down the river. She had given her life for her girls. She could love like that because she had received God's love. It's the same love He has for every one of you in this room. Are we loving like that? I want to ask the band to come back up. And as they do, I want to challenge us with something. I want us to go home tonight. And I want us to think, how am I loving people? Am I loving in such a way that it's a hunger so that I can feel good about myself? And if it is, maybe, just maybe it's time to take a look at God and ask Him to receive His love so that we can truly understand what love is. And if you have received His love, but maybe we're a little off here, as we all said, because we all sat down, maybe we need to kind of take a look at God's love for us again. Kind of see what He's been doing in our lives so that we can do that back to others.